Hello Tiny Tots friends, and welcome back to our art project video. We today are going to make a shark out of some shapes. Now these shapes should look familiar to you. This is some 2D shape review. Remember, 2D is our flat shapes. So the first thing that we're going to do to make our shark is we're going to need to start out with a plain white piece of construction paper. If you don't have construction paper, just any white paper should do perfectly. And you're going to use a white crayon. Now we're going to make some swirl marks on our white crayon because we're going to be creating some waves. Because sharks live in the ocean, and the ocean has waves. We're just going to make some waves. They don't have to be perfect, however you want to make your waves, okay? And then you might say, well, that doesn't show up very well, Mrs. Gomber. And you're right, because what we're going to do is we're going to paint it with some watercolors. So some of you might have watercolors at home that come in a tray and they have little ovals with different colors in it. Or you might have just regular paint at home. I just used regular tempera paint and mixed it with water to make it very liquidy and runny. And I'm going to paint across. Okay, so I'm just going to dip my paintbrush in there, and I'm going to sweep my watercolor across my paper. You don't need a lot. You just need to sweep it across. Watercolor is very light paint. It's not going to be heavy, and that's perfect because we want our white waves to show through. Now, if you don't have paints at home, you could always use blue paper for your water, and you could still use your white crayon on top of your blue paper, and it will still show up as your waves. Or if you don't have blue paper, you could even use crayons or markers to color some blue water. Just get creative. Okay, I'm going to sweep across. I'm going to cover my whole paper in my blue watercolors. Fill in some of them empty spaces here. And when you feel like your painting is done, you can set it aside and let it dry. Now this should, if you didn't use too much water, it should dry pretty quickly. Okay, I'm going to set mine aside and I'm going to let it dry. And then here are my shapes. So I just printed this on some gray paper, and there's a link to this image in the comment section, so you can click the link and print this from home. I just printed it directly on gray paper. I had to cut it to fit my printer, but it worked just fine. If you don't have gray paper, again, you can use white paper and color it in with a crayon or paint or markers, and then we're gonna cut it out, okay? So what are our shapes that we have here? We have 3 different shapes. What is this one? This large one. It's round, it does not have any edges, and it's like a circle, but it's squished flat. Do you remember what that shape is called? That is an oval. Nice. And then we have 2. Now these are the same shape. They're different sizes, but they're still the same shape. It has 3 straight sides and 3 points or vertices. It's a triangle. Very good. So we need to cut these out. So I have my handy dandy scissors here with my thumb in the little hole and my fingers in the big hole. It's going to point away from my body, and my thumb's going to point up towards the sky. And I'm going to chomp through the paper until I get to the lines. And then I'm going to follow the lines around. Open and shut, just like an alligator mouth. Open and shut. Turn your paper when you get to a corner. Open and shut. Open and shut. Okay, I'm going to cut out each of these shapes. open and shut, open and shut. Turn my paper, open and shut. Chomp those lines. Turn my paper. Chomp, 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 chomp. And my last one is my oval. Now the round ones, we have to continually turn our paper just a little bit as we chomp, chomp, chomp around. Turn it. This is a tight little curve here. Turn it, turn it. And done. Now I can throw my scraps in the trash. Bye-bye, scraps. And I have my shapes. Now, how can we make these shapes into a shark? I'm going to grab my water, my painting, and I'm going to glue my shark on there. Now, mine's not quite dry yet. That's okay. The glue will still work. Okay? So I have my oval here. This is going to be the shark's body. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to put glue on it. Okay, I can do dot, dot, not a lot. Or I can do a skinny, skinny line around the edge. Either one works. And I'm going to put my shark's body right in the middle. I'm going to go kind of diagonal like this. He's swimming through the water. Okay, and then I have my triangles. Now we're going to use these in two different ways. They're not going to go the same direction. So my first triangle is going to be my shark's tail fin. Remember from our lesson we learned about the tail fin. That's the one in the back that they use to push through the water. And I'm going to put my little point right here. So I have these two skinny parts, and then I have a wider part. The wider point is going to go right here on the end, and the skinny points are going to go up and down like my shark's fin. Okay, tail fin. And now I have my little one. My little triangle is going to be my shark's dorsal fin. Skinny lines or dot, dot, not a lot. And I'm going to take my wide point towards the back, and this flat part is going to go right on top of my shark like that. And now he's got a nice dorsal fin. Now, which ones are missing? We're missing some fins, and that's okay because this is just an art project. We're not making an actual real life shark. He's missing his pectoral fins, right? Those are the ones that are on the sides that help him steer as he's swimming. But that's okay. We have three shapes, and we're using our dorsal fin and our tail fin and our shark's body. But he's missing some things that he really needs. He needs a mouth. Now I'm just using a pen. You can use a crayon or a marker, whatever you have. And I'm just going to draw a zigzag line. Those are his teeth, right? Because sharks have lots of sharp teeth. And my shark needs to breathe while he's swimming. So I'm going to make his gills. 1, 2, 3 lines for his gills. Okay? And now he needs an eye. I have a googly eye. If you don't have a googly eye at home, you can use paper or you can draw an eye on with your pen or your crayon. I'm just going to put a little dot of glue here. Oops, I closed my glue. Silly Mrs. Gomber. Here we go. I'm going to put a dot of glue and put my eye on top. And there is my shark. And as the paint dries, you'll be able to see those waves clearer and clearer as the paint gets lighter and lighter as it dries. But I thought that was a really fun project. Maybe you want to give your shark a name. Ooh, I'm going to name mine Bruce, just like the shark from Finding Nemo. I think that fits him well. What's your shark's name going to be? I hope you do this project. I hope you have a lot of fun. And I would love to see pictures of your finished shark and you holding it. That would make me so happy. All right, friends, I hope you have fun with this. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. And I will see you all later. Bye, friends.